Alright, what is going on, people of the internet, and welcome back to another episode of Ark Survival Evolved Max Speed. And this time we're looking at the Stegosaurus, a very popular dinosaur for a lot of people, myself included. If you remember from the Land Before Time series, there was a character named Spike who was a Stegosaurus who was kind of dumb, and he was pretty entertaining for pretty much everybody, and I really liked him myself. And I imagine that's what drew a lot of people to the Stegosaurus, is to pick them as their favorite dinosaur. Also, they do look pretty cool. It's got a unique design of the spikes on their back, which are actually used for cooling and not defense, oddly enough, because if a T-Rex sinks its jaws into that, that's just, like, filled with blood, and that will probably kill a Stego. So, interesting fact, kind of a depressing fact, because it does look pretty cool, and it's kind of discouraging to know that the Stegosaurus was probably quite frail. But that tail, as you'll see quickly in this video, is not to be dealt with, because this raptor doesn't stand a chance against the Stego. Now, if you look at our stats, we do have 340%. No, I think we have a little bit more than that. I think we have like 450% melee damage to start out with, which is actually quite good. And our health is 3,300. And at looking around, these are actually pretty decent perfect Tame stats. 3,300 health is nothing to be laughed at for something that is not an apex predator or a bronto. That is actually quite a bit of health. I don't think you're going to get anywhere near that on a trike. Mammoths are going to be quite a bit better, but of course they're going to be a higher level requirement. Stego saddles are unlocked at level 30, trikes at 20, and mammoths are around 40. So you'll see here it's more comical than anything else. There's nothing too crazy with the speed, but I think it might be a better idea, in fact, to invest half of the points you get from a max amount of XP, half in weight and half into movement speed, so you can really get a good berry getter. But it does have an incredible AoE, as you'll see there. It decimated those dodos. That attacking area is just absolutely incredible. So we're going to go ahead and take this thing in the water, and I swear to God this thing is faster in the water than it is on land. But I'm going to stop right here quickly just to really regain some stamina, because the stamina on this thing is actually quite terrible. It doesn't really matter what level you have, stamina is not good. Now you'll see we jump into the water here, and I'm quite certain it's faster in the water than on land, and I don't know how to feel about that. So you'll see just how good this damage is, and the fact that we make quick work of this Megalodon being at only a level 8, but this is going to be more of a water mount if you plan to use this as a movement speed mount. If you plan to use this as a berry getting mount, you're going to be having quite a bit more of a benefit than having this to move you around the island, because, oh, don't do it. You can get a frog, and it will take you 5 minutes to tame it, and it will have unlimited stamina in the water, and it will be faster than this, and you can take it on land. But the frog doesn't have this strange, dominant presence about it once it enters the water. This thing gets swarmed by so much, and it can fight off everything because it has a circular attack, which I don't think I've seen much that has comparable to movement speed in the water about it. So, meaning that when you take something else in the water, say a good water mount that we tested was the, would have been the Megalosaurus, or I'm drawing a blank here, but the Carno was actually not a good water mount. No. But if anything that we've tested so far, taking it into the water doesn't really have the same kind of attacking area that the Stego does, with the amount of oxygen that it has as well. Now, it does have a pretty decent amount of oxygen. We spawn in a mosasaur here, and I think that we spawned in the world's first passive mosasaur, which is probably lucky. I wanted to spawn in a low one, just to really see how strong the Stego was, to see if we could maybe take one in one-on-one, but we're kind of lucky here that we've spawned in a level 76, and it's passive, because if this thing was not, it would probably have made quick work of us, which is really not something that would have been very great for this poor Stego here. So you see that, we just managed to take on a level 112 Megalodon on a 1v1, and the Mosasaur really doesn't care, but we are doing some damage to it. You can see it's bloodied up a little bit, and it doesn't take too much longer to kill. So the Stego, to top it all off, is pretty much, at the same time, the most useless and the most necessary max speed build I've ever seen, because it's so slow to start out with, but it does play that crucial role of getting berries in early game before level 50, which really does help you to survive before you have a predator that you can go out and go hunt meat for. And really, the Stego, to wrap it all up, is probably not something you're going to be worth. I don't know. Sometimes I even skip taming one in my builds, or in my game itself. But you might find more use in it than I did. But if you got suggestions, you can leave them in the comments, and we'll see you in the next episode of Ark Survival Evolved Max Speed. Probably going to be something like the Onyx or the Titan Boa. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.